India's middle class has a great role in India's success.
Majority of our country, and that's the growing middle class of India. Well, India's middle class is set to double by the year 2047, according to a new report.
That you still have to feed 80 crore people by taxing the middle class. I want to humbly submit.
Every morning, millions of India's most educated citizens wake up in rented apartments in cities they don't belong to, miles away from family, language, and familiarity. They log in early but log out late. They work 10 to 12-hour days, skip breakfast, get stuck in traffic for 2 hours or even longer, and still find time to smile on office video calls when they get back home. They pay their taxes before they even see their paycheck. They send money or gifts back home, buy insurance policies that they barely understand, and follow financial influencers because the system doesn't offer a map. But beneath that calm exterior is a growing fatigue, a quiet, creeping sense of, what is the point of all this? They don't riot and they don't protest, but they are breaking. This is not the story of the poor. This is not the story of the rich. This is the story of India's salaried middle, the invisible class, taxed, trapped, and forgotten. India's formal salaried class is tiny, just about 6 to 7% of the total workforce, but they punch far above their weight. Out of 1.4 billion people, just over 5 crore actually pay income tax. These aren't the billionaires. These are project managers, marketing associates, bank employees, mid-level consultants, and IT engineers. They're easy to tax because everything's documented. Their salaries are digital, their savings are visible, and their investments are trackable. While entire sectors run on cash, this one class has no choice but to comply. They don't just pay income tax, they fund the system. And yet, when it comes to policy making, they are rarely even mentioned, let alone prioritized. It begins with the paycheck. On the offer letter, the number looks impressive. 25 lakhs, 35 lakhs, maybe even 50 lakhs. But you soon realize that most of it isn't yours to keep. The income tax department takes its bite, 20% to 30%, sometimes even more. Before your salary even hits your bank account, a chunk is gone. Then come the hidden taxes, 18% GST on nearly everything you consume: food delivery, clothes, broadband, restaurants. 28% on a weekend movie with your partner. Taxes on fuel, tolls, insurance, property, telecom, and travel. And don't forget capital gains, mutual fund redemptions, rental income. Even your investments aren't safe from the taxman. Add it all up, direct plus indirect taxes, and for most salaried professionals, the effective tax burden can cross 40%. But what really stings is this: you don't see much in return. Bad roads, no universal health care, no pension, private school fees that burn a hole in your pocket. The government takes, but rarely gives. And then, just as you're trying to stay afloat, a post on Twitter goes viral. 70 lakhs per annum is now just middle class in Bangalore. And just like that, anxiety floods in. Because now it's not just about what you earn. It's about what others think you should be earning. If 70 lakhs is just surviving, then what am I doing at 18 lakhs or 35 lakhs? Here's the truth no one's saying. 70 lakhs for a couple with no kids is more than enough, even in Bangalore or Mumbai. But for a family of 4, with school fees, rent, EMIs, healthcare, and aging parents, it can feel tight. The number doesn't tell the whole story, but it creates a new benchmark in people's heads. Suddenly, you're not saving enough, not investing enough, not grinding hard enough. Everyone scrambles to earn more side hustles, more upskilling, more late nights. Not out of ambition, but out of fear. Fear of falling behind, fear of being unable to retire, fear that even this hard-won life isn't secure. What was once a stable career and a decent paycheck now feels like just the start of a race you didn't sign up for. And no matter how fast you run, the finish line keeps moving. Most salaried workers migrate to megacities, Mumbai, Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, or Gurgaon for work. They leave their homes, families, languages, and communities behind. Often they live in tall apartment buildings where no one knows them, where festivals don't feel familiar, where neighbors don't talk. Loneliness becomes structural. The only friends you make are your colleagues, and even they change every few years. And then there's the commute. In a city like Bangalore, or even Pune or Gurgaon now for instance, some spend 3 hours every day just commuting, sitting in auto rickshaws or buses over potholes, inhaling pollution, developing chronic back pain by the age of 30. Weekends are supposed to be your reward, your escape, but they turn into this tightrope of FOMO and exhaustion. You want to rest, but also live. You want to sleep, but also go out. And before you know it, it's Sunday afternoon. You feel the weight creeping in, the inbox waiting, the deadlines, the manager who will ask for an update, the week ahead. There's a strange sadness that urban India associates now with Sunday 4 p.m. It's not depression, it's something quieter, a feeling that you're stuck in a loop that never really ends. People say the middle class is privileged, but that's only if you don't look closely. Why does it feel hopeless? You're earning decently, sometimes well, but there's no pension, no universal health care, no housing security. Buying a 2 BHK in Mumbai or Bangalore? You'll need to put down 60 to 70 lakhs upfront and still take a 20-year loan. Rent instead? That's rising too. In Bangalore, rents have increased by 25 to 35% in 2 years. Want to invest? One influencer tells you never to buy a house. Another warns that renting is a trap. The third wants you to buy Nifty 50 index funds. Meanwhile, your salary barely keeps up with school fees, health insurance premiums, and the occasional Swiggy order. You can't afford to buy, can't afford to rent, and having kids? That's a source of financial anxiety, not a joyful decision. School fees are upwards of a minimum of 2 to 3 lakhs per year for a decent CBSE school. They take the best 30 years of your life, your most productive, energetic, adaptable years, in exchange for a life you might not even be healthy enough to enjoy. And yet, the one thing no one tells you is what happens if your job disappears tomorrow. In cities like Bangalore, layoffs come with very little warning. Entire teams gone overnight. You could give 10 years to a company and still be let go on a Google Meet call. No severance, no safety net, just a polite HR email and a calendar invite that ends your livelihood. Your monthly salary stops, but the EMIs don't. The school fees doesn't wait either. And in a job market flooded with talent, finding new work quickly isn't guaranteed. You run the hamster wheel for years, thinking that you're building a life, only to realize you were just keeping the machine running until they no longer needed you. By your late 20s or early 30s, you're running on fumes. You've made money, but you're always anxious. You've achieved, but you feel stuck. Everyone around you is tired, not just physically, but spiritually tired. There's a constant pressure to keep up. Foreign vacations, iPhones, Apple Watches, cars, home interiors. But your salary never quite stretches far enough. And social media makes it worse. You scroll through everyone else's carefully curated joy and start to think, am I the only one not enjoying life? No, you're just one of millions feeling this quiet desperation. The only difference is, no one talks about it. The salaried class is the go-to target for taxes, but the last in line for benefits. Rural India gets subsidies, farmers get loan waivers, corporates get tax incentives. But who fights for the urban middle? No political party campaigns on their issues, no policy paper talks about their well-being, no vote bank includes them. They are the quiet cogs in the machine, productive but unseen, contributing but ignored. India's social contract used to be simple: work hard, follow rules, pay taxes, build a life. But today, the rules have changed. Hard work doesn't guarantee stability. Savings don't guarantee security. Following the rules doesn't guarantee fairness. And the ones who feel this most sharply are urban professionals, educated, well-read, ambitious, and now increasingly detached. Many are leaving India. Many are planning to. But even those who stay are checking out. When your most honest citizens lose faith, the system has a much bigger problem than just policy. So what's the solution? It's not just about tax cuts or financial literacy. It's about fairness, about dignity, about recognizing a class that holds up the economy while asking for very little. We need affordable urban housing and regulation of rent in cities like Bangalore, Mumbai, and Gurgaon. World-class public infrastructure, sensible healthcare and pension systems, representation in policy conversations. India's salaried middle class doesn't want handouts. They want value for effort. They want respect for contribution. They're not angry yet, but they are tired. And tired people eventually stop caring. You won't see them on the news. You won't hear them shouting. But corporate India's salaried individuals are struggling, quietly, invisibly, dangerously. And the government needs to wake up and take notice. It's time for policies that protect the middle class, not just exploit it, to regulate, not just collect. Because when the backbone of the economy starts to crack, the whole system feels it. If you felt this, share it. Talk about it. Because silence is what's keeping us here. And that needs to change. Until we meet next, stay curious, stay unaligned.